We will move on. 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Cardinals 4-12, 3-4 on the road at San Francisco 49ers 12-4, 7-1 at home. Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California. 58 Fahrenheit. Showers 9 miles per hour. Start with the line history here. Shout out to Spenny Pennybombs, who confidently grabbed the Cardinals last week against the Falcons. Couldn't believe that the 3.5 points would be a swing from McSorley to Blau. And God, did he nail that? Niners open up minus 13.5. Now they're minus 14 or 14.5 at plus money. Total opened up at 40.5 as a pick 'em. It's now 40.5 at minus 108. Take a look at the cash flow here for this one. Cards Niners. We have 2,484 tickets in, 70% of the tickets, 80% of the cash on the Niners. Market moving towards them. Then we have 75% of tickets on the over and no cash flow, so hard to figure anything from that. Fourth quarterback in 4 weeks for the Cardinals. They've now lost 4 straight and 8 of 9. Blau was 22 of 40 for 222 yards, touchdown, no picks, filling in for Colt McCoy, who's out with the concussion. DeAndre Hopkins was not available due to a knee injury. Trey McBride caught 7 passes for 78 yards and a touchdown. Marquise Brown caught 6 for 61. James Conner had 16 carries for 79 yards and caught 3 passes for 31 yards, but then he left in the second half with a shin injury, and we have not been updated on that yet. I tried to get it, couldn't get it, so we'll find out with tomorrow's Wednesday injury report. The defense was strong, held the Falcons to 298 total yards, 2 of 5 in the red zone, and in his second to last career game, J.J. Watt had the lone sack, gives him 10.5 on the season, 6th season with at least 10 sacks. Robbie Anderson back, defensive lineman Jonathan Ledbetter, knee, both left the game with injuries. The 49ers will clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC with a win versus the Cardinals and the unlikely outcome of a Giants win in Philadelphia. They can clinch the number 2 seed in the NFC with a win against Arizona and a loss by Minnesota. They come in off their 9th straight win, a 37-34 overtime victory at the Raiders. The defense got torched by Stidham. 500 total yards against the 49ers defense that came in as the league's top-ranked defense. I mean, you go back to what the Chiefs did to them, 44 points on them on October 23rd. The 34 points were the most since then. So Stidham and Mahomes each have thrown for 3 touchdown passes against the Niners. The Niners didn't sack Stidham once. They hit him 9 times. Deshaun Gibson and Drake Jackson had picks. Purdy, once again, was very good. 22-35, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. 5th game in a row for Purdy where he's throwing multiple TD passes. That's the longest streak in 49ers history since Jeff Garcia had an 8-game streak in 2001. Brandon Ayuk caught 9 passes for 101 yards and a touchdown, ran for 16 yards on his lone carry. McCaffrey ran 19 times for 121 and a touchdown, caught 6 for 72. That's 1,000 yards rushing for the 3rd time. He scored touchdowns in 5 straight games as well. CMC. Niners offense was strong, 454 total yards, 4 of 8 on 3rd down, 4 of 6 in the red zone. Their guard, Aaron Banks, will have an MRI. It's believed it's a sprained MCL. So he's going to miss some of the playoffs for sure, possibly all. Brunskill will take over his spot there. Drain Greenlaw still dealing with the back injury. Deebo Samuel and Elijah Mitchell will practice this week. Mitchell's still on IR. They haven't pulled him yet. And Samuel got limited work on the practice field last week, but neither is expected to be playing here. So take it away. Birdie says Cardinals plus 13.5. Cardinals money line very comfortably. Says JJ's last game cards will show up. Niners play Giants in first round. Get much needed rest for their D in the second half. Love this angle.
Yeah, I'm more of a Cardinals second half better. I'm not sure what he's referencing with the Vikings. If the Vikings win, then the Niners have to win to get the 2 seed. I don't know if you're implying they would lose the game on purpose to get the 3 in order to play the Giants. I don't see a team doing that. Teams just don't. Again, teams aren't. They would get in trouble if they pulled starters in a game where winning meant they were a higher seed. Like, they'll play to win this game. That said, like, I do like the Cardinals in the second half here. Bertie, I just don't think that's a thing. Teams don't lose games on purpose to move down a spot in the playoffs. Like, and they're fine playing the Packers. They've had the Packers number. The Packers are a worse team than the Giants right now. I don't care if they're hot and they've been winning games. The Packers didn't even have as many yards as the Vikings last week. I know a lot of that was garbage time, but the Packers offense wasn't anything special. Like I do not see the Niners losing this game on purpose. That's silly to me, honestly. And truthfully, I think the league would be mad if they did something like they pulling starters to lose to a Cardinals team and move down a spot. They want teams playing competitive games when they're supposed to. You rest starters in the second. I mean, no, that's just not happening. I agree with Birdie on a lot of stuff. I just strongly disagree the Niners would rest starters and risk losing the number 2 seed, because you're looking at it from a very short-sighted angle. Like, yeah, you'd get to play the Giants in the first game, but you don't want to end up in a spot where you're the 3 seed and the playoffs go wonky, and suddenly, like, you have to head to Minnesota in certain scenarios rather than hosting them. Like, you don't ever want to be a lower seed just to get one game against. Honestly, there's not a big difference between all those teams: Seahawks, Lions, Giants, Packers. Like, I would definitely want the 2 seed in this spot. I know it's not what it used to be without the buys, but yeah, but it's funny, we're still agreeing. Like, I want to bet the Cardinals here. I just probably want to bet them on the second half. So no pregame moves on me here. And it does get weird. I would like to hear from the chat on that. What happens to this number if the Vikings win? Because yes, then the San Francisco is even more incentivized to win, but like, does it get bigger? Why should it get bigger? It's already 14. Like, there's no sense in it's like, oh, now that they have to win, they're going to win by 17. So I'm not so sure this number moves a ton. It might just kind of stand pat.
Yeah,
like I said, no move. This is a definite live bet kind of angle, and I'm excited for the. You know what? Truthfully, Birdie, I hope you're right. I hope they rest starters in the second half because they're up by 30. Because my God, getting a Papa calls, my God, you fucker, you stole my thunder. Like, JJ Watt has how many touchdown passes or touchdown receptions in this game? Like, if you're down big, suddenly, like, you're in the second half, Niners arresting players, JJ lines up a tight end. And the whole world knows you're going to throw it to him, and it happens anyway. I would love that.
So the only way the Niners or the Vikings get the number 2 seed if the Niners lose,
yeah,
and the Vikings defeat.
And the Vikings game happens at noon. This is late game, so the Niners will know where they stand.
Yeah, they need to get the win, and then the Eagles win too, and then it's set in stone. Interesting. Okay, and you're looking for a second half Cardinals spot.
Yeah, I'm maybe live betting these Dirty Birds. It's not even the right Dirty Birds, but I still think they're dirty.
Oh, they're most definitely dirty.